Clover Blossom by Louisa May Alcott. In a quiet, pleasant meadow, beneath a summer sky, where green all trees, where branches waved, and winds went singing by, where a little brook went rippling, so musically low, and pacing clouds cast shadows on waving grass below, where low, sweet notes of brooding birds stole out on the fragrant air, and golden sunlight shone undimmed on almost fresh and fair, where bloomed their lovely sisterhood of happy little flowers, together in this pleasant home through quiet summer hours. The rude hand came to gather them, no chilling wind to blight. Warm sunbeams smiled at them by day, and soft dews fell at night. So here, along the brook-side, beneath the green old trees, the flowers dwelt among their friends, the sunbeams and the breeze. One morning, as the flowers awoke, fragrant and fresh and fair, a little worm came creeping by and begged the shelter where. "Ah, pity and love me," sighed the worm. "I am lonely, poor and weak, a little spot for resting place. Dear flowers is all I seek. I am not fair and have trailed unloved, but butterfly, bird and bee, where little knew within this dark form lay the beauty they yet may see. Well, let me lie in the deep green moss, and weave my little tongue, and sleep my long, unbroken sleep that spring's first flowers came. When will I come in a fair dress, and all gentle care repay, with the grateful love of a humble worm? Kind flowers, or let me stay." But the wild rose shadowed her little taunts, while her soft face glowed with pride, where the light hid beneath the drooping ferns, and the daisy turned aside. Little Houstonia scornfully laughed, as she danced on a slender stem, while the coastlet bent to the rippling waves, and whispering the tale to them, and blue-eyed grass looked down on the worm, as it silently turned away, and cried, "All harm more delicate leaves, and therefore canst not stay," when a sweet soft voice called out from far, "Come hither, poor worm, to me. The sun lies warm in this quiet spot, and I'll share my home with thee." The rounding flowers looked up to see who had offered a warm house. She was a clever blossom, whose fluttering leaves seemed becoming him to come, and dwelt in the sunny little nook, where cool winds rustled by, and murmuring bees and butterflies came. On the flower's breast to lie, down through the leaves the sunlight stole, and seemed to linger where, as if it loved to brighten the home. Of one so sweet and fair, its rosy face smiled kindly down, as the friendless worm drew near, and its low voice softly whispering said, "Poor thing, thou art welcome here, close at my side in the soft green moss, thou wilt find a quiet bed, where thou canst softly sleep till spring. With my leaves above we spread, a pity and love thee, friendless worm. Thoughtful art not graceful or fair, for many a dark, unlovely form have a kind heart dwelling there, no more over the green and pleasant earth, lonely poor shall from roam, for a languid friend hast thou found in me, and rest in my little home." When, deep in its quiet and mossy bed, sheltered from sun and shower, a grateful worm spun its winter tomb. In the shadow of a flower, and clover garden well at rest, till autumn's leaf were sere, till all sister's flowers were gone, and her winter's sleep drew near, when her rifter leaves were softly spread. Of the sleeping worm below, where the faithful little flower lay, beneath the winter's snow. Spring came again, and the flowers rose from their quiet winter graves, and gaily danced on their slender stems, and sang with the rippling waves. Softly the warm winds kissed their cheeks, brightly the sunbeams fell, as one by one they came again, in their summer homes to dwell. And the clover bloomed once more, rosy and sweet and fair, and patiently watched by the mossy bed for the worm still slumbering there. When her sister flowers scornfully cried, as they waved in the summer air, "But the worm was friendless and poor, and the clover, why shouldst thou care? We'll watch no more, nor dwell alone, away from the sister's flowers. Come, dance and feast and spend with us these pleasant summer hours. We pity thee, foolish little flower, to trust what the forest once said, he will not came in a fair dress, for her lies in the green moss dead. But little Clover still watched on, alone in the sunny home. She did not doubt the warm poor's truth, and trusted he would come. At least the small cell opened wide, and a glittering butterfly from out the moss on golden wings soared up to the sunny sky. And when the wandering flowers cried aloud, "Clover, my watch was vain, he only sought a shelter here, and never will come again." And the unkind flowers danced for joy, when they saw him thus depart, for the love of a beautiful butterfly. As dear to a flower's heart, they feared he would stay in Clover's home, and her tender care repay. So he danced for joy, when at last he rose, and silently flew away. When Clover bowed her head, but his soft tears fell like grief, for her gentle heart was grieved to find that her sister's words were true, and the instinct she had watched so long, when helpless, poor and lone, thankless for all of faithful care, on his golden wings had flown. But as she droned in silent grief, she heard little Daisy cry, "Oh, sister, look, I see him now, afar in the sunny sky. He's floating back from cloudland now, borne by the fragrant air. Spread wide your leaves, what he may choose, the flower he deems most fair." When a white rose glowed with a deeper blush, as she proudly waved on his stem, the cowlip bent to the clear blue waves, and made a mirror of them. Little Louisiana merrily danced, and spread her white leaves white, while Daisy whispered her joy and hope, as she stood by her gay friend's side. Violet peeped from the tall green ferns, and lifted her soft blue eye to watch her glittering form which shone afar in the summer sky. They thought no more of the ugly worm who once had wakened their scorn, but looked and looked for the butterfly now, as the soft wind bore him on. Near and near the bride form came, and fair the blossoms grew. Each welcomed him in her sweetest tones, each offered her honey and dew. But in vain did they beckon and smile and call, and while their leaves unclose, the glittering forms they floated on, a violet, daisy, and rose, lightly enfued to the pleasant home. Of the flowers most truly fair, and Clover's breast he softly lit, and fruits his bright wings wear. "Dear flower," the butterfly whispered low, "long hast thou waited for me. Now I am come, and my grateful love shall brighten the home for we. Thou hast loved and cared for me when alone, hast watched o'er my leg and well, and now will I strive to show the thanks the poor who could not tell. Sunbeam and breeze shall come to we, and the coolest dews that fall. Whatever a flower can wish is thin, and forward worthily all. And the home was shredded with the friendless warm. The butterfly's home shall be, and thou shalt find dear faithful flowers. A loving friend in me, when, for the long bright summer hours, through sunshine and through showers, together in the happy home, dwelt butterfly and flower."